Guys, we're here. Podcast.
This is it. This is something we've spoken about. We spoke about this. Legit. We've spoken about doing podcasts so many times. And now a bunch of degenerates, we're just doing it.
Hey.
You're like, I don't even know what's going on.
Three degenerates.
What took so long?
Yeah, I know. Well, I had to come back to Dubai and we had to like make this happen, but it's all good.
You came back for AIBC?
Two, WBS, AIBC.
Oh, yeah.
And like a bunch of work stuff. It's been a month.
You've been traveling a lot. I know. I see you on your Instagram. You're traveling everywhere.
I know.
Must be tiring.
How I'm not. No, wait. I am on a number of watch lists. I've got to be. The countries I go to and the amount I travel. There's no way they're not like, what are you up to over there, buddy? Like, yeah. Crypto.
Red flag.
Yeah, big,
red flag.
Big fucking red
You guys
flag.
want to know something really funny as well? Connor, right there, just told me, hey, come do a podcast. With who, I asked. No, just come, right? And then I come in, and they just locked the door. Nothing was said, and there's a bunch of cameras here. Just want to quickly make... And now he's telling me he's on all these watch lists and stuff.
100%.
Okay.
And first thing Kevin said when we rolled in was like, oh, we're going to make a movie. But like husky, like, yeah, baby, we're
Just wait. You know, when the podcast is over,
yeah.
the door still might be locked.
We're all going to jail. That's how that works. So,
fair
yeah.
enough.
So what's been happening with you?
I mean, the ups and downs of the cryptocurrency market.
All right.
Crying, happiness, sadness. Every day's a new journey.
Life?
Sounds like my sex life.
Sounds like life.
Normal, right?
I heard they found Do Kwon.
Yeah, yesterday, right?
Is that true?
Montenegro.
Yeah, what was he doing there?
Well, I'll give you a clue.
Obviously.
Somebody somewhere in the world went, bro, go to Montenegro, you'll be safe. And he was like, yeah, cool. He wasn't safe.
No. Do you think they just got someone else, or do you think it's actually him?
Body double.
I mean,
It probably is. When you have that much money,
Probably was.
when you have that much money, you can make anything happen.
I didn't even think about that it could be a body double.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
it'd
gotta
be the
think deeper.
perfect thing.
Yeah. Oh my God, wouldn't it?
Then again, how long would he get in jail for? Let's say his lifetime. Probably ain't worth it,
I don't know.
You
know
pay
what?
someone.
Yeah, I don't know. How much
Pay
is
someone a bunch of cash.
How much
How
is
much did
5
he
years?
make?
Yeah, how
How
much
much
is
did he
5-10
make?
years in jail worth?
If that's the thing, though, how long would it be? Because, I mean, he screwed a lot of people over, like, hard.
Yeah.
If we don't know if he was alright, but
Alleg-
if he was
allegedly.
allegedly. Yeah, I was trying to think of like the legal term. You'll know the
No.
legal term. Allegedly, he's behind it.
Fucking,
Right?
I left my lawyer hat at the door, so talk about whatever the fuck you want. Like, we'll just edit it.
So
out.
he's
That's
got,
his
he's got a couple of $1 billion, right? So allegedly, he's got
Allegedly.
a couple of $1 billion. He's flying around the world. What's he gonna do? Let me find someone who looks
How's he
kind of like
flying, though?
Exactly.
How's he
Private
flying?
jet.
Yeah?
Private jet, you don't ever have to give the manifest. You just have to tell the number of people that are on it.
Wow.
So you don't have to say who's in the plane. You just have to say how many's in the plane. That's it. And the only time anybody cares is when you show up at customs. But if you show up to somewhere like Montenegro or Albania in a private jet, 9 times out of 10, they're like, hi, welcome in.
Yeah. Makes sense.
They're
though.
not asking any questions.
No, legit.
They really don't care.
They
That's
don't.
crazy. I didn't know that.
They
So if
don't.
you want to be low key, private jet.
Hell yeah.
You have to have that private jet money though.
I need
Oh.
a bull market first.
But yeah, we need the
Yeah,
bull market.
yeah, I
for
was
that
gonna
one.
say-
Calm down.
Bear market? Nah.
Private jet money.
Private
That's,
jet talk
that's,
is
that's a
quiet
lot.
right now.
Oh my God, yeah. But
That's-
I mean, well, you have private jet money, don't you? You've definitely fucking
He's got private
jet.
jet
Hey.
money.
You have a Lamborghini, by the way.
I don't have a Lamborghini anymore,
Oh,
by the
you
way.
do.
What are you whipping
I
in
just
these
got an
days?
R8 now.
Oh, casual. Is
God.
it the Spider? Or is it normal?
Nah, no Spider.
Not the Spider. It's not worth it then.
No,
Shit.
no. V10 then.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah. Yeah.
That's still nice. You got a car?
Bro, I take hella taxi everywhere I go. I just moved here. I just
doesn't
moved
even
here.
take Kareem. Just
They got
like,
the Lambo R8, Bugattis, Ferraris. I'm taking Cream. Cream is good. You know, I go to A to Z, A to B, whatever.
Is
it's
it
good.
because you don't have a license?
Oh, wait a minute.
No, honestly, I have a license. I got a license. I have it. Honestly, though, like when I came here, I didn't think that I was gonna stay in Dubai long term.
Oh.
My plan was just to like come and then go to like Thailand and then go to like whatever,
Montenegro.
anywhere. Montenegro. I'm trying to get some Bitcoin. But I was just trying to travel everywhere and then, move back to Dubai just for tax reasons.
Yeah.
To maintain my tax residency here. But
So where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
So how does it work? Because I know Americans find it difficult to get the
Yes.
tax residency.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, so Americans, their taxes are tied to their passport, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know that because you're probably helping some people with that. Maybe.
No, I am American. I'm British American.
Oh,
So
really?
I have
There
both
you go.
passports.
Okay, yeah. So their taxes are tied
Sorry
to
for
their
your loss.
passport.
I know, bro. It's hard.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Us as Canadians, it's like the UK where it depends on your ties to the country and how long you're actually in that country for. So if I'm in Canada for over 6 months, and then I'm a tax resident there. If I have strong ties like a primary residence or a spouse, common law, even secondary ties like having furniture that could make me a taxable resident in Canada if they really want to go for it. So
You have a chair
Canadian
somewhere.
government, I don't have anything in Canada. I have nothing in Canada. I don't even have a chair.
Yeah,
Okay?
Canadian Tax Authority. If you're listening,
If
he
you're
doesn't
listening,
have anything.
because I make a lot of content on that because I actually
On shares. Yo,
I'm,
a lot of
I'm
content.
definitely on some flags.
Hi, I'm
there,
Kevin.
but-
Here's me in an empty warehouse. As you can see, there's clearly nothing behind me.
But yeah, no ties to Canada. Everything's in Dubai now, so I'm maintaining my residency here. You have to be here when you have to fulfill some requirements, and you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So Americans get fucked through
yeah,
taxes.
it's terrible.
Which I think, FYI, is unconstitutional, and I think there has to be a challenge to that because you can't impose a law that imposes an obligation in somebody in another country. It's like saying, "Hey, murder in this country is illegal, but it's legal here," and then trying to charge somebody like that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
But you do get crazy like tax allowances. So you don't pay all tax. You basically make now with the new brackets like 150 grand a year tax free. And I'm at you guys, but I can live, well, maybe not you, but I can live on 150 grand a year tax free,
Yeah.
like easy.
Yeah, for sure. Even if you're traveling, you could.
Because
I will say this though,
One
that's
now,
what I like
bro.
about the States. There is that tax where it follows you everywhere you go. But again, like you can, like let's say you're investing into real estate, you can sell your property and just put that investment into something else, and there's no capital gains tax.
Yeah, we get
Canada, it's not like that. So you're paying tax all the way until you die.
that. Yeah.
Even when you die, I'm pretty sure there is a tax an estate tax where when you pass away, whatever assets you have, when it gets transferred to your children or whoever, there's a tax on that as well. Americans, it's not like that. So if you pass away with all your money, it's good. Tax
Yeah,
free.
it swings and roundabouts, right?
Yeah.
You get some good stuff. Like you get 10 grand a year tax free per person that you know. So like if you're like me with a shitload of, this is not tax advice, if you're like me with like a shitload of family members, if each one of them gives you 10 grand a year, it's tax free.
Really?
So it's like, yeah, as long as you can show the transaction, like, which in crypto is transaction, it's tax free.
So does that mean if you like make 25 children, that means you can all like
Just make
pass it up on
100%. As long as they're not American. So you got to be
Wait,
like,
what? How do you get that done?
So you got to be busy out of the country and then like get your army of kids to send
That's
you
why
cash.
those people could get the milk, huh? It's very smart. They all go away for the tax.
Yeah.
Very smart. So your kid cannot be American.
Yeah, correct.
So it cannot have an American passport.
Correct.
So it has to be born somewhere else, and they never have to just get. But they can't always get it then, right? Because the parent is American.
So you can, but America is a birth country passport. So if you're born in America, you get the passport.
Yeah.
It's not a parental lineage thing.
No way.
So yeah.
So if you're born outside of the States, let's say your whole family's American, but you're on a trip to Canada,
Yep.
and you're born there.
You don't automatically get a passport. You have to
Wow.
apply for it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I
whereas-
guess
yeah.
it's easier to get it at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Still though, that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Like if you're in Mexico, like you go to Mexico for a couple of days, kid gets born,
Yes.
You're like,
he gets stuck at the border.
Oh yeah. Like,
It's like, oh, the kid, oh no, kid gets stuck.
Now the other way around though, if you're Mexican and you're born in the States,
Yep.
then you have to wait until you're 18 to get your American passport.
no, you get passport day one.
You get it right
Birth,
away.
yeah, it's birthright in America.
Really?
That's why there's like hundreds of pregnant women every day coming across the
Wow.
border.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a tax method, passport method.
It's that's all they want is the passport. But most Americans are getting rid of their passport now. They're sick of it.
I understand, right?
For real, right? It's
Yeah.
like what is the America doing for anybody that's positive? I'll like let that statement just fucking sit there. And then it's like above and beyond that, what is America doing for its citizens that's even fucking positive?
Screw them over.
Yeah, bingo. Like me as a crypto advocate, me as somebody who likes crypto, all they're doing is just shutting it down fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Everything.
They're going to
It's
get left
like-
behind though, right?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, they are kind of getting left behind already. You saw Russia and China.
Yeah.
They're collabing. Big collab. That's huge.
Big collab of the century right there.
Honestly, it really
Yeah.
is. Like that's gonna change the game.
100%. Yeah, they're not. So they've already said they don't want to use the US dollar.
Exactly.
Anymore. Like,
Yeah. So they're gonna be trading with the Chinese one
Yeah.
one yen.
Or Bitcoin.
Yeah,
or Bitcoin.
Before we move away from the passport bro topic,
yeah.
if someone is American, right? Because I get so many comments, because I am a British, national, but I have an
Really?
Irish passport.
Yeah.
But so I can both. I'm not sure about Ireland actually, but in England I can just renounce my residency, right? So as long as I'm not in England for 3 months a year,
Yep.
for more than 3 months a year, I don't have to pay tax.
Correct. Yeah.
So my question, it's super easy for us, but for an American, for American viewers who are into crypto, what's the best way? Is it getting a new passport and giving up your residency, or is there ways around it? Like if you, let's say it's the next bull run, right? We'll fast forward a couple of years. Next bull run, you made $100,000, right? But you want to try your best to pay as little tax on that as possible. What's the best way to do it?
100 grand is easy. You just leave the US for 300 days. So the US is 300 days, and then you get 120 grand a year tax-free income. Or although it's not technically tax-free, you get an exemption. So you still file it, but it's like it's tax-free. Then you get a housing allowance. So you play with the numbers, you can get like 150 grand a year tax-free.
As long as you're not in the country.
As long as you're not in the country. That's the kicker, right?
That's interesting.
But there's other stuff you can do with crypto in Puerto Rico. So if anybody's pure American and doesn't want to leave, I'm always like, sell your shit. Same rules like you were just saying in Canada. Like you cannot have any nexus. Like no chairs, no table, no nothing. Like otherwise they are... But Puerto Rico, there's no like trading tax on crypto, so you can do that.
And you have to live there?
You have to live there, but like really live there. Otherwise, it's if you want to make, if you're making like that fuck you money, I mean, you literally just say bye-bye to the passport. It takes like 3 months. You go buy a St. Kitts and Nevis passport for 200 grand. You park up in Dubai and you're like, okay, thanks for the millions tax-free. Yeah.
St. Kitts is what a lot of people have been doing, and I like that's crazy. So it's already gone up in price. It's 200K now.
Well, yeah. When I looked, it was 200K.
Yeah. Okay, I guess so. It's gone up. Last time I checked, I think it was 150.
Interesting.
Which is worth it. I mean, if you're making that money, then
you don't even think about it.
Just go ahead and go buy a Malta passport. You get access to the EU, and then go buy passports everywhere. Get a golden visa in Dubai. You're chilling.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I say. I'm like, why do you? Like, I get there's the whole American patriotism thing, but at the same time, I'm like, you have to understand when you're being fucked.
Like, I think it's a very interesting topic because anyone who's outside of America, who spends zero time in America, doesn't really get the patriotism thing. Like, I look in and I'm like, you guys are just having a horrible time. Like, obviously, it's good if you're like super rich and you're there. It's not as good as if you're in anywhere else in the world, but you still have got a good life, right? But sitting in like my position, right? I'm seeing my friends from my old sort of life where I worked a 9 to 5 and from my new life where we make magical internet money. From both points of view, like, I don't get it. Apart from the fact that it's amazing to travel around, right? That's the only thing I'm jealous about is I can be in New York one day, drive just in one direction and be in a completely different landscape the next day. Awesome. Apart from that, why would you stay in America? I just don't get it.
All right, this was the culture shock for me when I moved. Being a Brit, going over to America. Truth be told, for the most part, you do get left the fuck alone. Like in a way, you kind of have to shift your thought process on stuff. Like you think about it as a Brit, you do everything. You have the NHS, you have PAYE, you have, everything. I mean, everything just happens. Like I don't use the term socialist because the UK isn't socialist, but there's a lot of like government control on stuff. You get to the US and they're like, you're on your own. And if you happen to live... I'm not saying I do, but hypothetically, if you happen to live by the mentality of it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, then America is for you. Like flat out. Because you can go and you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. You want to buy a piece of land, you want to build a massive fucking house on a lake, you will find somewhere to do that. And you want to work with the best fucking doctors, you want to do this. You want to, like, for example, I don't want to file my taxes this year. Okay, great, file an extension. Like, file them next year. Like, you're just left alone. Like, could you imagine trying to write to HMRC in the UK and be like, hey, I'm really busy this year. Can I file my taxes next year? They'd be like, no, hard fucking pass. Like, the whole thing is just so much more like...
Wait, you can't extend in other countries?
They'll fine you a lot.
They'll fine you a lot.
I believe, right? I believe.
Like, I've never paid tax my whole life.
Wait a minute.
Someone told me, a friend told me once.
Wait, but I think you can extend it for like a couple months, like 6 months maybe or something. I don't remember exactly, but I think you can at least like...
I mean, you can always ask.
It depends.
No, but I think it's like normal.
Don't make special
Depends
cases.
on where you sit. Like if you're PAYE, I don't know what the figure is.
Netherlands
but
I'm talking about. I mean, I know for a fact you can extend, but I don't know how far it goes. But I know you can. I think you can even apply for 2 extensions, no repercussions.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I know some guys that are still arguing, which means they haven't bothered filing. They're like 20, like not even that. I mean, I'm talking like years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, taxes. Like you can just keep kicking that can down the road.
Okay, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you know what? I know some people that same deal in Canada. Same deal. I know some people
So
that literally don't file taxes at all.
No.
What does that mean? So you make $1 million this year, and you're like, you know what? I don't feel like it. Give me 5 years, and I'll talk about the taxes. That's how it works.
Like,
I mean,
if
they don't audit you.
Yeah, as long as you've
audit
got an intelligent enough accountant, like, you just keep it going until you kind of fucking like, oh, well, now I've got the money to pay my taxes. So here's the other thing as well.
Scam.
Here's what you have to think of in your head, right? Your taxes in the US are almost like pro rata, if that's the right expression. Let me explain this properly. And let me know if this is the same in Canada. So I get through to December 31st, right? I'm like, I've got a 10 grand tax bill, 20 grand tax bill. Great. So the first thing I do is January the 2nd, I pay myself 20 grand. Mm-hmm. And then I pay my tax bill. Like, but then I don't worry about that 20 grand because it's income, but it's also not direct income. And then I just do the same again next year and next year. So it's not like I have to find the money this year to pay my taxes this year. I'm kind of technically worrying about it next year. Like, sounds like next year's problem kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas in the UK, it's like, tax bill, pay now.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing you can kick down the road as well. You can be like, hey, I don't have the money right now. Like, can I file an extension? Can I pay you later? Like, that's what I mean. In the US, you have more of like a bargaining chip. Like, you've got more of a position. Like, it's weird. That's the only benefit to America.
Right. So
they just get that you pay it.
There is some benefit to America, it seems.
To be honest, I guess if you're a sports fan, the US is also the place.
True.
Yeah.
Right? Because I mean, they go crazy over
How
sports.
insane is it? Insane for you as well? Like for me, thinking about like what it's like what's college ball?
Oh
Exactly,
my
that's
god.
exactly
16-year-olds,
Oh my
right?
god. I know. Yep.
Like I'm sitting there in England, like I was playing Pokemon cards when I was 16.
Seriously, me
like
too.
why are people famous?
Wait,
like
what?
what's going
Seriously.
Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards are still pretty cool. That's not the point, but
on? I mean, like
He has like Pokemon
I mean, like
cards
if I
in
play
his pocket right now.
if I play football at school, right?
Yeah.
He's
At
like,
high
actually,
school,
I've got some
in
money.
England. Yeah.
Charizard.
Does anyone want a Charizard?
Whips out the Charizard.
But if I'm playing football at school, right, in high school, it's like on the behind the school.
Yeah.
Whereas in
yeah.
America, it's like on TV,
That's like
and
the
I'm like,
main
wait, what's
thing.
going on? These
That's
are
what I also
children.
find.
But the thing is, it's only basketball. They only care about basketball and a little bit football, like
Football's
like
huge.
gridiron football, not like soccer
I
football.
think you're mistaken.
Yeah, I think
In this-
football is huge.
Oh my
It is
God.
huge,
Yeah.
but like what gets popularized most is like the ball people. Like
Fair
if you see
enough.
like LaMelo,
Yeah,
Lonzo, all that stuff gets huge there. Like
But those people make their lives off that.
Yeah.
And here's the biggest, it's not the biggest problem with America. Here's a problem with America, right? Some guys, and you'll know this, never fucking leave high school.
no,
I know this.
No, everyone, but like everyone knows.
Someone like you
was
would
that?
get. Someone like you would get this.
I'm not naming any names in this room, but if one of us didn't leave high school.
Wait a minute.
But like some guys never fucking leave high school, and all they talk about for the rest of their existence is, man, yeah, like
The good
when I was
old
at
days.
high school, we had fuck. That's a big cultural.
To be
thing.
honest, I think in crypto, this actually makes a little bit of sense as well, because some people have this crazy crypto pump once. A lot of people talk about this, right? Where you get rich for a little bit. You buy one coin,
Yep.
make $200,000,
Yep.
make $1 million, whatever.
Yep.
And you feel like the man. You go to a dinner, spend $300 like it's nothing. All of a sudden, prices come down 99%, and you're back to the grind. You're back to the 9 to 5 flipping burgers.
Yep.
Now you feel like that guy. You always reminisce of the good old days.
Oh my god, yeah. Dubai is full of people like that.
until the next run.
Like fuck. Yeah, we could all name names around this table of people we've seen talk, and we're like, bro, you did a cool thing once. That was really fucking cool. But like,
I learned my lesson the first time round.
Yeah, that's true.
What was it?
2017 was my first bull run.
Okay, fair enough. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So
I wasn't able to invest though. I was too young. I was 17, and I had to be 18 to get a.
Wait, what? How old are you now?
I'm 23. No, 22. I'm 23 in August.
I thought you were way younger.
Yeah, thank you. It's the skincare routine.
Damn, yeah.
I've been trying to figure out how old I'm. Like, am I
Really?
like a 15-year-old kid? Or?
wait, mentally or physically?
15-year-old kid,
Yeah.
what crypto did I buy? I want to buy that crypto.
Yeah, can we go back to Pokemon cards again? 'Cause I'm like-
Pokemon. Oh man. But wait. So what did you invest in?
In 2017 was a weird time because it was
yeah.
just
Fucking
it was
was.
crypto Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And Binance. That's all it was, right? So I bought Bitcoin for 3.5K. I think
Okay.
that was 3K or 3.5K, right? I bought one Bitcoin, which was insane because that was like
Yeah.
a month's salary, right? And then I was just on
3.5K a month. Pounds.
Yeah. I was here.
In the UK, yeah, it's
Pretty good.
I was here still.
Oh yeah,
No
you've
shit,
been here
really?
for a
I
while.
I was in Dubai
Really?
as a muggle, yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
As a model.
As a
Muggle.
model.
Muggle.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
Or a model. Whatever
Means
you-
you have,
I liked how
it
you
means
jumped
you're
on.
like average person, muggle.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
the UK
like
word,
a
eh?
like a work. It's Harry Potter, man. Come on.
I don't watch that. Sorry.
You've got to get it, bro. A fat like when you hit your 30s, if you want to get laid, watch Harry Potter. Because
Really?
every fucking
The
woman
Harry
in her
Potter
30s
method?
watches Harry Potter.
Harry Potter
oh my
method.
god!
Wait,
Hey, fucking tell me I'm wrong right now. Tell me I'm wrong.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Really?
So
Yeah, every chick. They get cats, they watch Harry Potter all the time. That's it.
In Britain.
No,
Yeah.
all over the world. Catch an American chick. Catch a California chick, ask her how many times she's watched Harry Potter. She can't even tell you how many
it's the
times.
Harry Potter method, bro.
Apparently,
you never
yeah,
knew about
I
that
never
one.
knew about
Every
that.
I didn't know about it either.
Every time. Anyway, sorry. So, yeah, you were...
2017, 3K into Bitcoin, rode the first initial wave into like 18 or 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then crypto Twitter was what was it? Like VGX?
Verge, you mean.
Yeah, Verge.
Oh my
Verge?
god.
VG.
Yes.
Verge,
VG,
yeah,
yeah,
VG. ICX, which was Korea's
yeah.
Ethereum. I still hold it to this
Wow,
day. That's what
nice.
screwed me.
That's good.
And then ADA, I was there for the launch of Cardano. And I always remember because my friend who had like almost no idea or connection to crypto, like I was like, when I wasn't working, I'm like learning as much as I can. He called me and he was like, hey man, China's launching their new crypto. And it's Cardano. And I'm
Really?
like, what? And he's like, yeah, man, it's going to be in all of the ATMs in China. And I'm like, okay, cool. That sounds cool. So we all bought it.
Yeah.
It's 400 sats. I don't know where he got that story from. It seems like he just made it up. but thank God. Thank God. 'cause
Believe them?
He was getting a
I
commission.
didn't even listen. I don't even know what crypto is at this point. He's like, yeah, China's crypto. I'm like, all right, that sounds
Thanks,
great.
Charlie. You're like, Charlie
anyway,
doesn't look
legend.
Asian.
So all the way to the top, 3K, 75K. Nothing to brag about, but I was on top of the moon.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
most money I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah.
And then I'm still on crypto Twitter, so it was like Verge, ICX, Cardano. Those are all the things that I'm like moving the Bitcoin into, right? And we were trading with Bitcoin against altcoins rather than with USDT.
Smart.
And so then I moved everything right at the top into ICX, and then I rode the wave all the way down, baby.
Oh.
Let's go.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Crash and burn.
It was terrible. Yeah, it was horrible. But that, if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't have started the next bull run with the idea of taking profits. Mm-hmm. Like I would have never even known. Mm-hmm. And that's also what kickstarted my like YouTube videos. Was I saw everyone talking about all these hype and meme coins, right?
Here's me
And
about
then-
to jump off the roof.
I have a question for you though. So how did that money feel when you had it? Like let's say $75,000. We as crypto people, I think, have the idea that because money comes pretty fast, so the money feels less real to a certain. If somebody, for example, offers me now $70,000 in my hand, it feels like a very big thing. If it's $70,000 that I
were
make,
speaking about this,
it's like
yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like nothing.
Doesn't really
It's-
change
I
anything.
call it like fake money.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel real. Like even if
Yeah.
you buy it, even if you use it to buy stuff, it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
It really doesn't feel real.
It's the It's the not the monopoly effect, the casino effect. It's
Yes.
literally the same mentality that you get. It's why they don't let you play with cash in a casino because otherwise you'd realize how much you're losing.
Yeah.
When it's this little fake thing,
Exactly.
You tip the waitress $5, tip the guy $5
Yeah.
every time. You don't care.
my life is free. You know that? Every single time I spend something, it's like, oh, the number goes down a little bit, but you don't really notice. You don't feel.
Yeah.
But the question was, how did you feel? Did you feel then there was real money because you lost so big,
At that point, yes.
Mm-hmm.
In the end of this bull run, no.
but you didn't cash out anything?
No, zero, nothing.
Just
None,
lost it.
zero, absolutely nothing. I didn't make any money, none.
Wow.
Wow.
From that first bull run.
None, zero.
That's incredible.
I lost $1,500.
It's surprising, but that's what happens to most people.
Yeah, 99%
That's
of
what
people
happens
don't
to
make
most
any
people.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
I'm acting like the cool guy, but my story is pretty similar.
Yeah.
So I started crypto in 2013 because my mom didn't allow me to have a PayPal. Fun fact, from a Minecraft server that we were running. But then I kind of that's actually how I
Pokemon
went.
cards, Minecraft.
But then I kind of left it alone. 2016 made my first crypto video, which was because I won a giveaway. And then later in 2017, I started making them daily, talking about ICOs, about investing and whatever. To be honest, things were good. Life was really good because you buy ICOs and it goes sometimes 100x. And you make a little bit of money and it goes 100x again. So you're like trying to pull that out. You're like, what to buy next? XRP, I don't know if you noticed. Absolutely insane, that rush. Verge went crazy, especially when they announced a nice little partnership. I don't know if you remember that one.
I do.
Yeah, that was
That's
good.
exactly what I'm thinking about.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember?
Yeah.
That was good stuff. But then so many of those altcoins went so insane that my balance was, as a 17-year-old, in the millions of dollars. And it's like, I didn't even buy anything. I'd never cashed out a dollar for like years afterwards even. I didn't quit school still because I'm like, I didn't even, like nothing felt real to me. And then after I lost most of it again over the subsequent years, it's like, it didn't really hurt me. It didn't really push me anywhere. And it's only like when I came here to Dubai, I think, when I started meeting people that were earning so much money that I noticed, okay, You know, these people actually live their lives differently now as well. They make money and they actually use it to purchase stuff. They buy the Lamborghinis, they buy the Bugattis, even with Carl, for example, and they get into the richer lifestyle. Because I think a hard thing is to understand, when are you rich? When is the moment where you can start to really spend money or something?
And dude, it changes. The bar just keeps moving, right?
Yeah.
And who you hang out with. It totally depends on who you hang out with.
It's subjective. It's not objective.
Like, I never know. I can never know when people tell me a number. I'm like, I don't know if that's really high or really low for you. I don't know what people need for anything, because crypto just is wild, right?
It's insane.
It's so different to anything else. So you're just like, I don't know what's like. Yeah, I'm just
It
jaded, right?
desensitizes
Yeah,
you.
It really
really
does.
does.
So I remember my 2017 trading story was, I was living in Southern California at the time, and I'd go to these meetups in Newport Beach. Crypto, they called themselves the Crypto Crew. They'd show up, and it was some of the biggest tech guys I've ever met, some of the biggest nerds and like finance guys. They all had one thing in common. They had fucking money. That was it. Newport Beach, California, they had money. They would pick a coin every Thursday, one token, and they pump the fucking shit out of it. And literally, because the philosophy was, you don't play the market, you play the bots. Because back then, it was all the bots.
It's true.
And all you had to do was trick the bots into thinking that coin was mooning, or whatever the fucking term we use these days, right? Was going up. And you'd literally, incrementally, there'd be a guy on that table, right, you dump 20 grand in. Okay, wait for it now. You dump 20 grand in. Now you dump 20 grand in. Now you dump 20 grand in. And there'd just be a strike price. And you'd wait for the strike price, and then... because all you'd be selling it to is the bots.
Yeah.
The market was the bots. And I watched those guys in one night probably make close to 700 grand. Jesus. Like a group of guys make close to 700 grand just pumping shit.
That's a fun night out, though.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
night in.
But that was when, for me, the whole mentality of what money is, what wealth is, what anything is, just, I mean, it's like the broken mirror, right? It's just changed. And you can never look at money the same again. When you've sat there and you've been like that, these guys who have no discernible skill set, like, you don't look at those guys fucking, oh my God, like,
They're geniuses.
they're genius. This is great. You've created the next fucking Twitter. Like no, literally would make 700 grand in a night. And what did they spend it on? Fucking nothing. I mean, to look at those guys, they would wear average clothes, drive average cars. Everybody had a Prius. It's 2017. Everybody had a Prius in SoCal. And it's like, no Lambos, no nothing, just...
For them, it really didn't mean anything then.
Sure.
Just
and like, once you've seen that, like a lot of the stuff that we've seen in the crypto space, you can never look at money the same again. Ever.
And that's the bad part of being like young and making a lot of money, I think, because then you're screwed for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You make that money once you're 40. It's like, okay, you cannot see it, but you've lived your life a little bit. But that's the thing when you grow up poor, relatively, right? Because you still have different people in somewhere deep Africa with $7 to name every 3 weeks. It's like a little bit harder. I'm talking like relatively poor for the European standard. You value like a discount on a little item in the store. You're like, oh, I can finally buy that cheese today, for example. It's like, oh, that's a cool thing. That's good. And whenever you make your first $1,000, it's a freaking achievement. Yeah. I saw a kid on YouTube today, and that guy has 1 million subscribers, make $1.5 million or so. And he just said, I don't know what the kid's name is. He went to the Pizza Hut or whatever pizza, and he tipped the guy 400% of the pizza because he thought that was normal, for example. Like, well, and he didn't grow up rich, I think, right? I think he made it off of YouTube, but still, your entire life now is set on like a downward spiral path just because you got rich too young. He didn't have to buy pizza before on his own. Same thing for rent. He didn't have to buy groceries, didn't have to buy rent, so you don't understand how much people can struggle. Aiden Ross, a good example. The guy said on stream, like, what's the average salary? Like 100K or something? And I'm just looking at them like, excuse me, what do you think? But they lose it, and that's so sad.
Yeah. It's like politicians. You get like a politician's mentality. You just get insulated. You have no idea what the real world is like, and you don't know how much shit costs. You don't know how much anything because you go to a hotel and you get the best room. I mean, like I remember the first time I came to Dubai, which was like 2018 actually, stayed in a really nice hotel, done things I'd never done before, and I was like, the typical fanboy with the camera, like, this is so cool. This is so cool. Look at all of this stuff. And like, I remember people in the hotel I was checking into that I won't name drop, and they were like, yeah, no, I've got this. And the guy in front of me is like, oh, your hotel bill is like, I don't know, whatever it was in dirhams, but like $9,000, right? And I remember
For what?
for this hotel, this guy's hotel bill was like $9,000. Check, yeah, like going through stuff. And I remember thinking to myself, fuck, who spends $9,000 on a hotel? Now, and I hate to be that fucking guy, I've spent that on a 7-hour airplane flight. Because I'm like, I see the comfort, I see the value. I'm kind of like, why not? And like, it's so weird to have that shift in paradigm in your mind. From like you were saying, to go from like, yeah, I valued this stuff, I grew up valuing it and I appreciate it, to being like, no, I actually can, so I'm going to fucking do it. I hope I never get to that point, like, you know what you said about how getting old and, you know, you made the money young and then you get old and you never have it. I hope I never switch that paradigm where I never actually lose the value of money. And I'm like, yeah, I can just fucking, let's just spend
Then
this.
again, it's hard to say when have you lost that value, right? Because I mean, let's say you have fuck you money in the sense of you have, let's say, $500 million. It's not even fuck you money to a certain degree because you can't buy everything you want.
You see how you just said $500 million?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's like actually not even that much.
If you
relatively,
told me
What?
three, no, see,
500 times
I'm on the
what?
complete opposite side because that just shows how far along on the scale you are.
Yeah.
Like you think fuck you money is $500 million.
crazy.
I don't
That's
even think
craziness.
that's to me.
Yeah, and you're,
You know what
and,
fuck you
and
money
you
is?
thought I was gonna be like, dude,
No. Because like
that's a day's salary.
There's two sides to that. I think the moment where you're like, I can pretty much do anything is like maybe $20 million or so. You can literally do anything for every day of the rest of your life, probably, if you play it, you know, well. You can still spend it in about a week. We went to Monaco for the Formula One. The guys next to us spent $1 million in 2 days just on the restaurant. In a restaurant,
Okay,
not the whole
that's
day.
crazy.
In 2 days, the boat costs about $1 million a week to rent. Then that one. So I mean, if you think about it, then you can spend it easily in about 6 months. So then I'm saying like, F you money at $500 million. Well, still you can't do everything you'd want. Only Jeff Bezos' yacht is this price, right? So from that perspective, at what point do you really have everything you would ever want? Well, probably 10 million. You could have everything you wanted, but everything, I don't think there's any limit to that. You know? And so it's also the difference in the amount of people you meet with this amount of money. Like for some people, Bugatti is like a very big thing. Wow. For me, for example, it would be a pretty big thing. It would be a very big deal. For some people, it's like, oh, that's my cheapest Bugatti. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, I don't really drive that one. For a watch, when I had my first Rolex, I was like, oh, wow. You know, this is thousands of bucks. People, I've always been dreaming of this. This is so amazing. Thousands of dollars on my wrist. Whoa. And then you buy more expensive watches, and it's like, well, I don't really want to wear that like cheaper one again. I like watches, so I will, but I mean like relatively. And I think that's kind of how it goes as well, right? You keep up in the game.
Yeah.
I think you have to make a conscious effort not to like jump. Like me in life, whenever I see something, like let's say I go to Mexico, for example, for a vacation. I don't want to do everything that trip because I want to save it for later. So if you just go balls deep and do everything, buy everything, it's like in GTA 5 when you have everything. You have the condos, the cars. In real life, you'll do the same thing. Once you have everything, what else is there to get?
Yeah.
There's nothing else to get. So I make a conscious decision to like, yes, I can buy a more expensive watch, but I don't want to. I want to buy this watch first, and then I'll buy a little bit more expensive, and then a little bit more expensive, and just enjoy it throughout my life and actually like, you know, feel better when I buy things and experience things as well.
I rate that. Yeah, I agree with that.
It's smart. Well, yeah, because otherwise you end up kind of pissing everything you've got away.
Yeah.
It's like fiscal responsibility. And actually, this is one of the things I love about a lot of guys in crypto is fiscal responsibility. Because a lot of people in crypto, all right, they didn't come from nothing because, you know, real poverty is real poverty. Like, that exists. But they kind of came from a run-of-the-mill job, right? We all had to get up, but when it was dark, we all had to get up when it was dark. I've got to move closer to the mic. And we like, you know, I remember like in the UK, you had to get up when it was cold, fucking dark.
Yes.
You had to go to the office. You wanted to go have a cigarette. You had to stand outside in the freezing cold. You left the office when it was dark and you're like, this is fucking miserable. But you were there. And then when you go from that to where a lot of guys in crypto are, and I mean this with all my heart, I hope every fucking guy in crypto is successful. Like, I hope every guy smashes it. I hope they make the money they want because they were smart enough to get in. But that, like, loss of vision of like, if you've always had money, you never value it.
Yeah.
Like, if you came from nothing, then you're like, actually, yeah, I can, like, yeah. Like a rainy day fund, right? I don't know about you, right? I have a rainy day fund. I have a pretty substantial rainy day fund. Why? Because I fucking know where the market's going to go. I know where the market's going to go. I don't know where the world's going to go. I don't know, like, banks are closing down and all of that shit. So I keep a rainy day fund, and it's pretty diverse.
On what? In what or where? How do you stack it?
It's pretty. So I've got a couple of bank accounts, some commodities.
Have you checked the bank account recently?
He has a
Yeah.
big gold chain.
So here's the thing, right?
I have one of the biggest. It's called SVB. You know?
Yeah.
I'm with Credit Suisse.
It's like houses, guys. It's safe. But no, and that's a great question. So my US bank accounts, I will never let go over 250K ever,
Yeah, that's
because
smart.
that's
You have to,
federally
yeah.
insured, right? So literally, bank accounts will never go over that. I have commodities, gold, silver, some other stuff as well that I can physically keep. I've digitized gold and silver as well, which I also keep, which I can trade internationally. And there's a company called US Gold, by the way, which I'm not plugging it, but I'm just because I think it's fucking brilliant.
But I'm using my link down there. in the
They are one of my clients.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't, you don't
Use
have to like it, you don't have
KevinWeb3
to like it.
US Gold.
Oh,
referral
God.
code.
Use promo code Big Daddy 25. But you, it's digitized gold. It's like one of the only legal like digital tokens in the US because it's literally a contract in the US for delivery, and you're just trading the contract. And at any point you contact that company and you go, I want my gold, and they'll deliver it anywhere in the world.
Really?
And that for me is like another fucking passport. Like, hey, I'm here in Manila. Send me, my 3 American Eagles, whatever they're worth right now.
Wow.
Like,
Oh, basically like the cashing out.
yeah. So like, I think, you gotta like, I keep a rainy day fund, but I think that only comes from kind of having seen the shit side of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and I'm not pissing on anybody. Like,
Yeah.
anybody who gets up to work and does a job in my books is like a good guy or a good girl. But like, fucking, like, I've seen it. I don't want to go back to it.
Yeah.
And
No.
I've inflated almost zero of my life, apart from like having a nice car.
yeah,
Like almost none of my life is inflated at all. I live in the same apartment that I lived in 2 years ago when I started like making money in crypto. Same apartment.
Good for you.
Yep.
Same everything. I go like I fly business with points.
1,000%.
Like
The only thing I splash cash on is air travel, but that's because I'm a secret AV geek. I actually like to experience
So you're
the
about to say, like,
product,
a secret agent
the
or something.
plane. Actually, a secret agent.
I'm actually a secret. Yeah. That's why I have to fly somewhere. I thought
But and I like to see the product. I like to see what they do. Like, it's an experience, right? It's cool.
You're a
but,
nerd.
But I know, right?
But it's nice, I
Yeah.
guess. It's something nice to look forward to the flight. Like, because to be honest, it's a lot of money, right? On just for like 7 hours, and like to Singapore, it can be to Japan. I think it's more. It could be $10,000 for just a one
Oh,
way
yeah.
on the first class Emirates.
Oh, first class Emirates. Dude, I've never bought them. The most expensive airline ticket I've ever seen was Etihad does the residence.
Yeah.
And you do the residence from Abu Dhabi to London. It's a minimum of 35 grand.
35,000 for.
A
that's
flight.
how much
For
it is
6
to charter a
hours.
jet though, no?
Damn.
But you get, on the plane, you get a lounge, a bedroom, and a bathroom.
Yeah, but you have that on the jet as well, pretty much.
Yeah.
No. Bar, I guess. How you do actually? I guess.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Maybe that's a scam. I guess if you're going solo, then it makes sense. You know?
Yeah.
But if you're 3 people,
I don't know how much I've never looked into
I can't
it. I've never
justify
been on a
that.
private jet.
I can't justify that.
it's hard to just find unless you have the money that we talked about.
Honestly,
just
Exactly.
the thing is, me personally, like I don't care how much money I have. The thing is, where I came from, not that I was poor or anything. I had a blessed childhood, but I had to work my ass off. Like, I was working 2 jobs, working 16 hours a day, sleeping 4 hours every day while in school full time, and I dropped out of school. But I went through that struggle where I was literally like hating my life every day, depressed, not even eating, to the point where I am now, where literally every single day where I wake up, I genuinely feel so happy that I don't have to go do something for someone else. It's like, I can do whatever I want. I'm doing something for someone else, but it's for me.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the difference.
This is one of the things that I spoke about ages ago, and I can't remember where I did it. It wasn't a podcast, but it was something else. And I posed the question, how much is it worth to you to get up every morning and work for yourself?
everything.
It's so
Everything.
valuable.
Yeah. I cannot put a number on that.
No.
You could offer me $5 million a year working for somebody, getting up every day and going into an office, or you could offer me what I make now, and it ain't $5 million a year. Like, I'd still pick what I do now
100%.
It's respectable, right?
every day of the
It
week.
depends on your ethical values as well. What do you like in life? And I think a lot of people will be very happy to get whatever money just so they have the security of, somebody paying them. And I'd rather have all the risk in the world while I'm just building something, having something like sort of tangible or so. You wanted to say something? But I want to go back on this in just a second. Say something first.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing with entrepreneurs. It's like you rather take that risk and be happy than work for someone else and not be happy. Because like, the way I see it is you only have one life. Like if I lost all of my money now, and let's say I only had like 50K left, I would use that 50K and build something, and I would take that risk. And let's say I did fail, whatever. I'll just go grind a little bit, save up another 50K, and do it again, and just do it again. I just don't think entrepreneurs can fail in life. You
So
literally can't.
how would you grind a little bit and say 50K?
50K? I would
Have
use
you ever
that.
heard of OnlyFans?
I have not.
OnlyFans.
So please explain.
So OnlyFans, yeah, Kev, why don't you tell us what OnlyFans is?
So let's lock the door again. I'll show you. No, I'm just joking.
The door is locked.
But in all seriousness, if I had only 50K and I needed to turn that into something else, I would use that money.
Pause right there. Only $50,000.
I was gonna say
Most people watching are like, this guy, you know,
I'm
this
really-
23-year-old
I'm
kid.
really
no,
not down to
wait,
my
wait,
last
wait,
bottle
wait,
of
wait.
champagne.
Let me tell you something.
I wouldn't know, but if I had maybe like only $50,000, like a year and a half worth of salary.
Because the thing is,
maybe I could do something. Maybe I
I
don't know.
saved that
Make some
money.
moves. Make some moves.
I know the thing is that is not a lot of money, and I'm gonna say this because I've saved double that money working jobs at 18, 19. So
Is that Canadian dollars or
Canadian dollars, yes, roughly about $70,000 US.
So how long did you work for? What did you earn?
Like a year and a half, 2 years.
So
So I was working two jobs. I was working at at a mining company. I was like doing something called confined space rescue, where people would go into like these machines and clean them, and I would just like stand there, watch them for 12 hours a day with a respirator on, helmet, full gear, dirty as hell for 12 hours a day. I would do that, and then I would go work at the CRA, which is the IRS but for Canada. And I would do both of those jobs, and yeah, I saved up plenty of money, and of course I was also like investing in stuff, but my investments had nothing to do with how I saved my money. I lived like cheap as hell. Like I barely ate. I just freaking grinded, and I just went to work, and I saved up my money. So I know people can save that money, and I was also living on my own. I wasn't living with my family or anything. I was sleeping on floors, literally. So you can save that money. You might have to hustle a little bit, but people don't have to do it in a year and a half. They can do it in 3 years, 4 years. But the point is, you can save that money, and then once you have that money, take the chance and try to double it or try to triple it by like investing in yourself. I like businesses. I think they're great. But for example, I'm a content creator, right? So I rather like use that money to create content, like use that money to fund your lifestyle and do whatever it is. So like just literally you can use 50K, travel all of Asia, film content, and I bet you by the time you're out of Asia, you'll have enough followers to be able to sustain your lifestyle.
Wait a minute. I very much disagree.
Really?
Unless it's your passion.
Yeah.
Somebody, I think it was like a couple of days ago, somebody asked me, how do you become a good content creator? And I've been doing YouTube since I was 10, you know? Mm-hmm. But I swear to God.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. The hardest part about it is really keep on going if you see no results. The first views, most of the time will be like 30 views, 70 views. With shorts, you'll get a lot more, so it feels...
shorts is crazy.
So it feels bad, but you're not going to get that many followers at the start. You're going to have to still keep up, though. You're going to have to be consistent. If it's not your passion, it's only a business choice, and you're going to vlog, it's still going to be rather hard unless you make really good quality videos. But to keep that up every day, to make...
Also now, it's a very different landscape to like Casey Neistat time. Like with the travel vlogs.
Those were good
and the
times,
vlogging,
though, when he was
But I don't mean like vlogging, like just you're like going everywhere. I mean just like making clips like, this is you know what? I'm going to do this. You guys in a few months watch me. I'm going to be making, when I go to Thailand, I'll do the videos.
No, but
like
you're different, though. You're passionate about it.
That's the thing.
But
That's for me, right? That's what I would do with that money. That's not what everybody should do with their money. But I think even if it's not your passion and you genuinely like go 100% and actually treat it as a job and you like make sure you take the steps to make it happen, I think you can make it happen.
Oh,
yeah.
Even if it's not your passion, treat it like a job. Don't treat it like a side hustle. Treat it like a full-time job. Work 9 hours a day on your content creation, and there is no way, unless you really suck, there's no way you can't turn it into something else.
But that's with almost anything, right? If you really...
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think almost with anything, if you really go sit down... Okay, another hypothetical here. Sit down for a day, 24 hours, whatever, 20 hours, and learn about finance, learn about money. I think you'll know more than 90% of the people out there, because I seriously, even trading, for example, people say, oh, I trade sometimes, and I bet you they've only watched a couple videos, but they've not sat down and read like 4 books, for example. I think you can do it in a couple days. None of them. So if you ask them a simple question like, yeah, I'm like trying to figure it out, I'm trying to learn. If you really sit down and teach yourself something every day, every single day for a year, you'll be so extremely, most likely, successful. But people don't want to put the effort in. And they want the results, though. For example,
Yeah, no
every
one
single
wants to
day,
do
how many
anything.
DMs do you get of people asking for money?
Yeah,
right? But
loads.
how many are like, some people ask for a job, and I'll always take them serious. I always like, hey, what can you do? What are you good at? They say, I'm learning, bro. I'm like, oh, never mind. We go. If they say, hey, man, I'm really good at making this and making that, I can try. There's one guy shout out to you, my friend. He said, man, I don't want anything. I just want to get an internship. And I asked, what can you do? He's like, whatever you want me to do, bro, I'll do it. So like, okay, and what do you want? He says, no, free. I was like, okay, let's try. So I got him to do some posting, and I was like coaching him into what to do. He still works for me now. Now he's getting paid. But it's like, if he were to come up to me and say, hey, man, I want this, but I want to get paid, I'm like, ignore, next guy, depending on what he could do.
Yeah.
Right? But just because he offered his services first, and he's like in it, and he's been texting me the whole day, every single day, trying to work, whatever he could do, man, I was like, this guy's passionate. That's what you need, you know?
Yeah, this is a big thing. I was talking about this recently. Like the amount, because short form, like you guys were saying, short form is the new thing,
it's king.
Right?
It's literally king.
So you have the advent of all these bigger YouTubers who talk about their social media marketing agencies, right? They don't really say what it is that they do to make loads of money, but it's a social media marketing agency. So what everyone's doing now is they're starting a social media marketing agency for shorts, for the different platforms, right? When I was doing it, it was for managing people's Instagrams, right? Or growing someone's Instagrams or trading Instagrams. But now it's this. And I'm sure it's the same for you. I'm sure it's the same for you. Every day, at least minimum 5 people contact me to try and make shorts for my channel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Like that's that's the lower end. Every single time now, because I have a whole team that I've created. I made a team of different people that I've brought together for my back end. So I have the whole team. Everything is done. I do shorts. I do all of this stuff, right?
Stunt double, body double.
Exactly.
fluffer.
Exactly. If the FBI are after me, my double that sits in Montenegro.
Montenegro version of me.
But yeah, so I say that to them when I send them the email back. I always want I want to be the guy who helps 19-year-old me who reached out to someone and gives them the opportunity. But I say to them, guys, I already have the entire team. There's no reason for me to hire you. But what I can do, because they want to take our clips, right, our full videos and make them into shorts.
Exactly.
I'm like, what I can do, I'll give you a month trial. I'm not going to pay you. You prove to me that you can do better than my current team, and then I'll pay you whatever it is that you're asking for.
Yeah.
Smart.
Never once has anybody took me up on it. Not a single person.
Insane.
And I have a you know, on like Google you have templates, right?
Yeah.
I have the template that I send to them. Never. I just instantly no response. And I'm like, I'm literally offering you an opportunity for a job here.
Yeah.
If you're a 20-year-old kid or whatever age you are, to be the guy who makes my shorts. All you have to do is prove yourself.
Yeah.
No one responds. And I'm like, oh my God.
They're not hungry enough.
Yeah.
They're not hungry enough.
So that, I think, is the secret sauce of being like an entrepreneur, to coin that phrase. Like, because not everybody is designed to be an entrepreneur. It's factual, right? We know that. But that doesn't mean you have to live like shit or you can't be successful. And a guy called Matt once explained it to me years ago. He said, look, Cal, not everybody runs a business. Not everybody's got that in them, but it doesn't mean they have to live like shit. And he gave me this example of McDonald's. He was like, look, you go to McDonald's, you work, you do the floors, you do the fryer, then you become the check clerk, then you become the something else, then you become the manager, then you're managing the McDonald's, and after that you become the regional manager. And whichever way you cut it, a regional manager of McDonald's looks after an entire portfolio of multi-million-dollar businesses. And that's a great fucking position to be in, right? For like a lot of people. But but as an entrepreneur, you have the ability, and I think we all do, to realize the value add in doing something for more than money. And that's the most important thing. Like when you started creating YouTube videos, you did that for nothing. You did that because you saw the value add in it. And in fact, you all did. Like you all did. You weren't necessarily like, I want to be a star. Otherwise, you'd have got on a plane and gone to California. Like you'd have done like 90% of people did. You did it because you saw the value add in it. And it's like so many people don't see that value add. And like with me, I swear to God, when we've taken on some of our biggest clients, we've done work for free. That doesn't mean DM me and be like, hey, can you do this for free? I swear to fucking God, when this is done, I'll give you the names of people. I name dropped one of them when we walked in. I contacted that person and I swear to fucking God, I said to them, I will work for you for free. I know what you guys are trying to do with that big company you've just bought. Let me tell you why I'm one of the best at it. And let me tell you why I will structure it and organize it all for you for free. And if you don't like it, we don't work together. And that's how I ended up working with them. And now we work with all of their brands.
That's
huge fucking brands.
Yeah.
Because like the element of being an entrepreneur is I see the value add in this more than money. And that's it.
And you took the risk.
Yeah.
You took the risk in them saying, all right, well, thanks for that.
Yeah, because they could have turned around and been like, you know what, Cal, this is dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's true, right? Like, this is dog shit. Like, but that's the risk that, because I am not I'm not a content creator, right? That I'm always honest about that. I have minimal social media presence. My biggest is Instagram, and even then it's like, not huge. But at the same time, that's why I respect what you guys do, because I don't think people realize the balls it takes to just go out and create content. And you don't do that because you want to be famous. You do that because you're building your brand, and you have to do that for your own value add.
I think everybody does it differently. I think, right? For example, when I made my Minecraft YouTube channel, it's the same channel, but I made it, again, I got to get back to it, right? It was purely because it's like, well, it's fun, and I wanted to become the guys that I used to watch. I wanted to be like them because it looks so awesome. And honestly, maybe it sounds a little bit strange, but I wanted to make sure that I could always play with other people. And I think the more followers you have, you got like, people looked at you and they wanted to play with you, basically. So you'd always have a team of to be able to play together in a server or so.
That's cool.
With the YouTube stuff, with the crypto stuff for YouTube, it was completely different. I was just telling people a journey, and that's what I always say now as well on my channel. It's like, I'm explaining to them what I did to get here, my investment journey, and the news obviously, is that's what I cover every single day. But it's like sort of like a conversation, like a mentoring thing, even though it's not financial advice. Let's make that really clear. It is my journey that I'm describing to them, because I think honestly, if they follow what I do, not literally too much, but they follow the steps and the thinking process, that almost everybody will get rich. And the thing is though, it will not be quick unless you're very lucky. I've had 2.5 years or so of building on Instagram. I'm not sure, I don't think any of you guys know this, but I have like 97 million followers on Instagram. Depends on if you count the
94 million followers.
Million. I think it's one of the biggest networks you'll see out there.
Jesus,
Yeah,
how
so
much
you
did
don't
you pay for that?
Yeah, exactly. Which I started in 2018 of just posting on one account, and this is I have a channel on this as well. It's called Growth Masters Academy, but I stopped 2 years ago with making.
Big Daddy, no.
Wait, you're serious?
It's not a joke. No, it's not.
Oh, he's completely serious.
No. I stopped, and I'll explain in a second. The thing is, it didn't really generate money for like a year or so, but I was just building. You wake up 8 a.m., put on South Park, boom. It doesn't matter how late you wake up, by the way. I'm just picking a number, 8 a.m., right? I'm just to show the measure of time. So you just sit there and you start posting, and back then you could post on a lot of accounts at once.
Yes, yes, I did that too. I did that too.
I have at home of maybe now I have like 6 iPhones left. Before I had a lot more. And then you just have 45 accounts on this phone, 45, and then you go, one has like DIY crafts and like cooking. Post on a lot of them, and you have themes for this, right? But then I wake up, boom, this account has gotten 100,000 followers in 2 weeks or so, because all of a sudden you understand the mechanism. And then I noticed all the prices, then I noticed all the things. Point being though, I built that kind of like as a fun thing, not trying to be an entrepreneur, not trying to be anything. And then eventually, I think now as well, if you sell the whole thing, it'll be maybe even $1 million, maybe even more, depending on how active those things are, for example, right? If all those accounts were really active and I'd really pursued it better, which I didn't because I was too afraid, there's a pretty big barrier of giving people access to your accounts, giving them your secrets of growing. There's like these things weighing you down, which now as I grew older, I learned, but this was a couple years ago. I think if I put them all correctly, I saw Daquan or whatever. They sold their brand for like $80 million or so.
Something huge.
I'm thinking in terms of follower count, I have a lot more, but in terms of like, that's a brand, right? This is all like different pages with no real brand. Yeah. Showing, by the way, the power of what you said of personal branding and like building something for yourself, where with those is just like random pieces. The point being, anyway, you don't have to really know your path just quite yet. Just try out different stuff and work hard, because as I said, 8 a.m. you start, and whatever time you just fall asleep, you stop. I tried every single day, didn't make any money, but you try something, and YouTube on the side, and then university on the side. I thought at first I'd be an econometrician or data scientist, because that's what I studied. Didn't even finish it now, because, why would you? I mean, what's the point in school? Yeah. But you don't know what it's going to bring you. You just keep trying different stuff. Keep working really, really hard. And it's going to be really hard to fail, I think. Unless you really are
that's some serious alpha.
Yeah,
that's some
really
serious
deep.
Alpha. All right. Wait, let's get some shorts.
Yeah.
If you had $1,000 right now and you were starting in crypto, would you invest it, or would you do something else with the money?
I would invest it for sure.
Invest it.
Right now, investing $1,000 in crypto, I think is one of the best decisions people make. And I don't think people enough realize just how much money $1,000 could make them. Think back in Shiba Inu, $8,000 turns into what? A couple $1 billion?
Yeah.
People are not realizing just how big this space actually is, or at least could be.
Yeah.
So without picking specific coins, are there narratives where you would divvy up that $1,000, or would you put it into, let's say, one coin like Bitcoin, or how would you do that?
It depends on the market. Right now, for example, I'd be more inclined towards the riskier side because I think the market's going to pick back up again. So I'd probably go and look, which is what I do every single day on my channel, right? Look for the right picks, look for the undervalued gems, most of them which are rather small still, or, which is the biggest thing out there, invest in them early before they even hit the market.
Yeah, that's the way to go. I will say, like, where I made good money was in the last bull market. So I missed out 2017, 16. I missed out, 18. But in that last one, what I did was I had some money and I split it between a bunch of shit coins. And one of them did good.
Yeah.
And that helped me out a lot.
What was how much did you turn into what? What was your best trade?
I actually don't want to say, but I will
Don't say what the coin is, just say the trade amount.
Oh,
Do
man.
it. Spill.
I honestly
Just
don't.
one
I can't
trade,
say
then.
it. I'll say one of them. I'm not gonna say the highest one. I'm not gonna say the lowest one. So one of them, at least, it was like 1,000, and I turned it into like, I think it was like, in Canadian dollars or US dollars.
Whatever you want.
I turned 1,000 into like 47 CAD. That was just one of them. I'm not gonna say which one it was, but for me back then, that was really good. Like it was like a quick, liquidity push into my wallet. So it was good.
My biggest was in the bull run of 2017, like round then. I got in on an ICO, loved the ICOs, big hype for the ICOs. Got in on one that we did no work for, just kind of got in touch with it, really liked the project, really liked the founders, and actually ended up getting a shitload on an airdrop. You talking about having to do stuff, because airdrops rule the range. And I did a bunch of, I'm not going to say what I did a bunch of extra stuff, got a bunch of airdrops, and at one time that token went up to $4.50 during a pump.
We don't know if that's much or not, right?
But well, no. So the entrance was 0 and the exit was at $4.25, and I ended up clearing like close to, I don't even think I want to say. I grabbed a lot of cash out of it.
Yeah, that's
but for me, that one always wins. It like, because I kind of got it for free. Like,
What's the best coin that you've ever bought?
Bitcoin.
Yeah,
It is the best one.
yeah.
Okay, and percentage-wise, the best coin you've ever bought?
Best as in like the trade.
Yes, exactly.
SafeMoon.
SafeMoon, really?
Oh, let's go.
$500, $165,000. And then I cashed out $120,000 and bought an apartment in
That's
Dubai.
nice.
You cashed out $120,000
And
off
bought an
of SafeMoon?
apartment straight in cash in Dubai.
Whoa, that's awesome.
go.
And I saw
was my
that video
plan.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's how I found this guy.
Yeah,
on my
yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
Really,
Dude,
that's
let's
crazy.
go.
That was my best trade, yeah.
Awesome. We good? Yeah. All right. Awesome, guys.
There you go.